Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. We're talking about what concerns just about every Nigerian that living in the country at the moment is about the state of the Nigerian economy, the policies of government, and which way forward. Things are not looking good, but then where are we headed at this time? Chief Daniel Wanyawu, former national chairman of the Labour Party, is in our Abuja studio. And here with me in the Lagos studio is a former presidential candidate of the All Nigeria's People's Party, Mr. Galtima Lima.
So
he's been talking.
His new Nigeria
the new Nigeria's People's Party.
Exactly.
That for a second just skipped my memory.
Yeah.
All right, now let's tell you that you can be part of the conversation. You don't have to be in our studio here in Abuja or Lagos. We've been asking you a question, and we're telling you to go and tell us what exactly you make of the government of the Buhari and the economic policy. We've been asking you, how would you rate Buhari's economic policies in the face of present realities and APC campaign promises? Well, is that good, average, poor, or confused? Well, let's know what you make of this. Let's continue with our conversation here. Let me ask a question from Mr. Lehman here. But again, you've heard some of the things that some of the visuals that were played earlier on about what the president said and what the plan of the APC government is to be and what they have in stock for Nigeria. But a lot of people will wonder, was it that the government was in shock that they didn't bargain, what they saw when they got to power is not what exactly they bargained for? Or what exactly do you make of the speed of the growth since Buhari president got into power?
Not really. You see, the Nigerian economy, the fundamentals are robust. I want you to understand that. It's a maritime nation. It's a agri-based nation. It's also a nation with even the domestic population is quite robust enough for it to turn around its own national economy. You know, you have about 180 million people, and that's a huge market. What I was saying in terms of the implementation is, first and foremost, you need to identify where are the key cash cows that you have in the country. For the moment, whether or not you like it, is the oil and gas sector. But unfortunately, the oil and gas sector has not been optimized. You know, you need to have a program of forward and backward integration. The commodity itself, we have the finest oil and gas product in the whole wide world. It's one of the finest, it's sulfur-free, and you can have about 1,000 new products coming out from that if it is refined. Unfortunately, so many pseudo-experts do tell the Nigerian government, look, move away from this. It's a commodity that you need to respect. The community that has to produce that commodity also has to be integrated into the mainstream. I would have wished to see a situation where by now His Excellency President Buhari is sitting with the Niger Delta people in the South. Maybe having an office there, a subsidiary office in that place.
Of the president?
He's the president himself. You know, because it's a very important commodity. With the international oil company,
that's supposed to be another seat of power.
Another seat of power. Because
that's how important that
area is. You shouldn't even allow them in the first place to even take arms. There's no reason whatsoever. The international oil companies themselves know how important Nigeria is in terms of the LNG, that is in terms of gas flaring, in terms of so many things that is happening. It is unfortunate and sad that you will allow the Niger Delta people to go to an extent where they will take arms and ammunition and begin to bomb. That shows the level of desperation.
But the dialogue,
not about a dialogue. As I told you about a subsidiary office for him to be there almost every other week, sitting down, discussing with people. And mind you, if you see the political capital that the Jonathan administration gave him, they said, look, I don't even want to go to this, and I know the kind of person you are, you can handle this country very well. I'm not going to go into any litigation. You've won the election. I had said that that's a golden opportunity for him to have embraced that peace move, to sit down with them, to see how, together with the genuine international oil companies, how they can front load foreign exchange to the magnitude of something close to about $100 billion. Nigeria has the collateral to provide that. It is when you have these funds, you begin to now talk about rural development in terms of agriculture, you begin to talk about all these other social...
Those were immediate decisions that will turn around. Let's bring Chief Dan Wanyawu into this conversation. You're a politician, you have businesses, and you can give us a sense of what exactly we are going through. I know your party too were on the sideline watching things and looking actively into what exactly played out in the last year election. But as it stands now, what do you think or make of the activities of the present government, the government of the APC, and the speed at which they are going and handling the Nigerian economy? Are you impressed?
Yeah, thank you, Shehu. Good evening, viewers. I don't want to put myself in the group of Nigerians who are of the view that President Muhammad Buhari and the APC government has brought the woes we are passing through now. I don't want to accept that. But I want to also make the point that, yes, you have shown us part of what we knew. They have not denied that those were the promises they made to Nigerians. But I want Nigerians to also be aware that what the farmer says on his way to farm is different from what you hear from him when he's coming back from the farm. And the point I want to make, again, is we have to reevaluate and reassess what happened since the president came into office. The problem we have is how do we come out of the problem? This problem has been there over the years. We've been talking about diversification. We've been talking about this, agriculture, and so on and so forth. But it is important to note that countries that have made it, their success is based on their human resources. And that human resources it goes to show the capacity of such a country to convert their human resources into human capital. And this human capital I'm talking about is skill. Again, how do they apply their natural resources? The point is, when the government came in, one had expected that the government should do a reassessment, just as my friend with you there said, a reassessment of certain decisions taken by the past government. Particularly, why did the past government hand over the security of our pipelines to guys in the Niger Delta region? You have to reassess it. You have to add and minus which one is better for you. It's like reassessing the TSA, which the past government did not implement fully. Now, coming back to the issue of the Niger Delta region, it has rightly been pointed by my friend with you that that is the only thing that gives us huge money now. So why should we allow disruption in the area? The main reason why that thing is going on is because they don't feel that sense of belonging. They believe that they are not part and parcel of the society, part and parcel of the country. Immediately, government of President Muhammad Buhari came in. What was expected of President Muhammad Buhari? Get back to them. I read the other time when one of the ministers went to the maritime school, cited there, and he told them bluntly that he was going to remove it. I mean, these are things that you have to look at. The problem is lack of development in the area. Their land has been devastated. They have no good water to drink. Their children cannot go to good school. They live on water, and so on and so forth. What has government done since the first oil was struck in the region? That is a simple question. I don't understand why people in government find it difficult to do the right thing. They find it difficult to do the right thing. And that's why it is important to keep advising Mr. President that he has to engage the people. Timi Alaibe struck the deal the last time. There was quietness. There was no trouble in that place. Although many people claim they did it, the fact that they have not succeeded in doing it now means that they did not do it. Get somebody like Timi Alaibe, move him back to that place. Let them start talking. Let them negotiate. If we are going to get 1 trillion naira from there, if they take care of our pipelines, and we're not going to lose 2 trillion if we sack them, which one is better for Nigeria? I'm not saying it is right. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. Unless we want to now go into deep sea fixing of the pipelines, whereby you cannot get there. I don't think we have the resources now. So these are some of the challenges we have in the South.
Again,
I'm not talking about government.
Okay, let me quickly ask you this. If you look at some of the things that President Muhammadu Buhari said on the inauguration day, he's talked about some quick fixes to our economy. Yeah, he said it's shameful that the poor economy state of the country. He talked about the power supply, and was talking about agriculture and solid minerals. But these are some of the major areas that he said he was going to make a quick fix as soon as they get into power. But with what we have seen so far, are these quick fixes realistic? Are they really tackling it the way they should? If not, what's the way out?
There is no quick fix. And that's why you see people, it is not possible for Nigeria to generate 10,000 20,000 megawatts the way it is. And that's why you hear people now saying, let us devolve power. Let us remove some of these things in the exclusive legislative list to the states. Let the states handle them. Government cannot be there talking about power. Federal government cannot be there talking about agriculture. Federal government cannot be there talking about roads in my state or in my local government, which they don't know whether it is now motorable or not. Devolve power to the states. Let government shed weight and move some of these things to the states. Particularly, the federal roads should go back to the states. The issue of power, let the states, that many states are getting involved in power plants. And if you allow them to generate and transmit, by now you will find out that Nigeria will have electricity. It's not when they have generated, when they have built a power plant, you now ask them to pump it into the national grid, and they may not even get 1 megawatt. So these are some of the loads the federal government is carrying that it cannot execute. We will be going round and round. Let us get off some of these things that, in America, for example, American government doesn't get involved in contracts. If you meet President Obama, the best he can give you is a photo shoot. Then you shake hand, he will go. He's not in any position to award any contract to anybody. If he's going to Nigeria or going to any other country, he will take those who produce arms, those whose businesses are going down, he puts them in the plane, they go there and talk business. So if we continue to run the country the way we are running it, that everything must come from the center, you don't have to blame President Muhammad Buhari, because it is the structure that we have. Okay. And I think he has a golden opportunity to dismantle the structure. Not dismantling, because you said dismantling the structure, people think you want Nigeria to be disembarked, okay, or there will be no Nigeria. Nobody is saying that.
Let's bring the conversation again to Lagos, just for a moment.